information here for you. Joining us is the program lead of the Bachelor of International Business, talking about the one and only Dr. Miguel Dindial. He joins us via Zoom this morning to chat about this program and what it means and how you can be a part of it. Good morning to you, Dr. Dindial.
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. Well, first of all, I want us to start at Arthur Lockjack School of Business. What do you guys do there generally?
Okay, so we are, as the name suggests, a business school, and we provide academic training and business-oriented degrees in a wide range of areas and to a wide range of audiences. So we have executive education training, which are typically short courses that are offered to executives and persons in industry who want to reskill, upskill, retool, not long-term courses, but short-term oriented. And then we have our academic programs in the form of degrees. So we have our master's degrees. We have a number of them. And we have an undergraduate degree, which is what we're going to speak about today. Yeah. And in addition to that, we have some consultancy. So we are a business school. There's knowledge happening in India, and we do provide services to industry where if you have a problem or an opportunity you want to explore, you come to us and we can go through the robustness checks, help you develop that strategy so that you increase your chances of success.
All right, so then let's get into the bachelor degree that we're talking about this morning, international business. What does that entail specifically?
Well, it's a broad concept, and when I'm finished with the definition, you may kind of ask yourself, but isn't all business international business? And you'd be right. So it's commercial activity, as the name suggests, and it's between entities, so also organizations, businesses, governments, even persons. And once that commercial activity crosses geographic boundaries and it happens between multiple countries or jurisdictions, then you're talking about international business. It might seem like a simple concept, but there are many factors that have to be considered when you want to do this thing successfully. So what you do in one country, when you go abroad, you can't just replicate or copy that. It has to be adjusted, amended, and that's what the program really helps you develop those skill sets in.
And the skill set is to be able to adjust and amend, or is it that you guys are going to run the gambit of this is what you do in this country, this is what you do in that country? Is it getting that detailed?
Yeah, definitely. So we provide you with a range of contingencies and factors that have to be taken on board, and obviously these things are idiosyncratic. So it depends on what type of business you're doing, what geographic area you're going into, and what elements of the value chain you're talking about. So we tend to assume that international business is exporting or selling a product in another country, but it's far broader than that. It's how you source your raw materials, how you source your human capital. Because right now we're having a conversation on Zoom. You can easily hire somebody in a foreign country and have them provide value added for you, and it's outside of your home country. So it's how you manage your human resources as well, and all those things are greatly important towards competitive advantage.
Dr. Dindial, I was just wondering, who is the target audience for a program such as this? Is it the young entrepreneur? Is it somebody who has been in business for a while?
Well, our target market primarily younger demographics, but in terms of the actual content, we understand that students at that age group are now figuring themselves out. Some of them know what they want to do, but that's liable to change over time. Some of them simply are not exactly sure what they want to do, and we do run surveys, and we realize that a fraction of them want to go into their own entrepreneurial ventures, but we also have a part that wants to work for already established firms. So the program is flexible in that we provide skill sets regardless of which area you end up going into. So if you are an entrepreneurial venture sort of person, the content is very much suited to helping you understand international business from that context, because small firms do go abroad. We have this conception that you have to be large and successful locally before you start looking at opportunities abroad. But Industry 4.0, the internet, all of these telecommunication advancements are showing us that firms that are very small can start going abroad at a very early stage in their life. So the program does cater to an entrepreneurial sort of perspective, but also for persons who may find themselves in already established organizations.
And in terms of the entry requirements, what do you need to have to join the program?
Well, that's an interesting part, and that's something that we've adjusted. So the program will accept persons at the CSEC level, so what we typically refer to as the CXC level, but we'll also accept students at the CAPE level. We understand that there's a difference in the level of foundation at those two areas, and persons coming in at the CAPE level have obviously a bit more experience under their belt, a bit more knowledge. So if you're coming at the CAPE level, you are able to finish the program in 3 years. If you come in at the CSEC level, the program will take you 4 years. So regardless of what entry level you come in at, the actual program does cater to you. So we accept at the CSEC level, but also at the CAPE level as well.
All right, Dr. Dindial, would I have needed to study business in school at all, like chosen business in Form 4 to be able to get accepted into this program? Or if I decided at Form 5, Form 6, I said, nah, switching from sciences and I want to go and do international business now?
Yeah, and that's a very good question. Because it does happen, again, because of the demographic. Students get exposure at different stages of their life, and they may go down one path and then realize, hey, you know, sciences is not for me. I want to do some business instead. And the program does cater for that. So over the 4-year sort of period, your first initial year is what we refer to as foundational business concepts. So regardless of what background you come from, and we do have students on the program right now from a languages background, from sciences background, some of them doing a mix of courses that can't be aligned with any one area, and we accept everyone. Regardless of what background you come from, we provide you with the foundational skills in business to make sure that you are competent to build the more advanced learning zone. Obviously, if you come from a business background, you would say, well, why do I have to redo these foundational skills? And the program does provide for exemptions. So if you come from a very strong business-oriented background, we will make certain sort of adjustments to make sure you're not redoing what you already know. But to answer your broad question, we accept students across all thematic areas, so as long as they have an interest in business and international business.
All right, that's fantastic. Tell me now, when is the deadline for the new next crop of students that you guys are looking to get in?
We have a deadline set for the 31st of July. Okay. That's our tentative first deadline. We have limited spots because one of the differentiating factors of the Lockjack GSP and the program itself is we do have a very focused cohort. We don't accept a large number of students because you want to make sure that we have the resources to really dedicate to individual level attention. And that's a huge differentiating factor with the Lockjack GSP when compared to other tertiary level schools. So that's the deadline dates, and we do recruit a very small cohort to make sure we can deliver on that overall sort of promise.
Dr. Dindial, I was just wondering, why is such a degree important? Why is such a degree, in fact, actually important at this time? Because we're thinking international business. And as you rightly said, we have the MBAs, we have the business administration program. I mean, what sets this apart from all the others?
Yeah. And that's an interesting thing because most programs, the MBAs, all of these programs, they're predicated on what we call a single operational context. So you learn human resources, you learn finance, you learn marketing, but it's typically within the perspective of an organization operating in one geographic space. This program it internationalizes this thinking and say, okay, how do you conduct business successfully across multiple countries when all of these factors change? Your culture change, the politics change, the supply chain management changes. So what you do in one country, what an MBA would teach you, it doesn't necessarily apply in a similar fashion when you start going abroad. And that's a very important skill set for us right now because we all know we're going through a period of economic hardship locally. And that is largely, if you break it down to the foundations of what that problem is emanating from, you would realize it's from an overdependence of international business in a very narrow range of activities. Those activities essentially are oil and gas production. So from a national level, from an organizational level, we need to start thinking about how do we internationalize to generate foreign exchange, to generate value added in areas outside of the oil and gas sector. And we do have a very robust manufacturing and service sector, but they are largely sort of domestically focused. They extract and they create wealth locally, but they've never actually done it abroad in a very significant level. So from an organizational level, it's incredibly important. Many of them are coming to us and say, hey, we want to go abroad. We can't be dependent on revenue streams and foreign exchange from a small range of activities because we're getting huge problems in getting Forex for our supplies and our suppliers. So we want to start going abroad to generate our own, but we don't have the skill set necessary to actually start doing those things successfully. It's hugely a very risky sort of process. So you really want to make sure you have the skill set needed when you start going abroad.
Nice. And Dr. Dindyal, before we close, any additional information you can give us or any websites we can go to get more information?
Yeah, so you can visit our website at lockjackgsb.edu.tt and reach out to us. We have an awesome team of academic advisors, because we're not here to sell you a program. We're here to ensure that you choose the right program for you. So engage with us. We have a wealth of experience. We advise you, and even if the program turns out to not be ours, once you venture off into a realm of doing what you enjoy, we are happy as well. So reach out to us. We have a wealth of information, a wealth of material, a wealth of guidance that we can share with this very young sort of demographic to make sure that they make the right choice as they move on to this very important stage of their lives.
Dr. Dindyal, thank you so much for joining us and sharing the information. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
And that was Dr. Miguel Dindyal, the program lead of the Bachelor of International Business at the Arthur Lockjack School of Graduate Business. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break. I'll be right back. Up next, we're going to be getting you ready for a career in business. Stay with us.